NYIT is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk Counties, Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. A part-time worker at the Nassau County Board of Elections has been charged with illegally writing in false addresses on petitions to help get a candidate he was working for on the ballot in 2009. The Nassau County District Attorney's Office says 27-year-old Imtiaz Insanali of Valley Stream could face up to 4 years in prison if convicted of the charges. DA Kathleen Rice says in addition to his paid position with the Board of Elections, Insanali also worked as a volunteer for Tax Revolt Party candidate Republican Christian Brown and wrote fake addresses on petitions to help Brown get on the ballot in the 5th Legislative District race. Brown got on the ballot but lost in the general election. Well, a third person has now been arrested in connection with a grab-and-run jewelry robbery at the Tri-County Flea Market in Levittown. Police say on Thursday morning, 18-year-old Cole Hansick and 21-year-old James Kaufman, both of East Meadow, went to the upstairs jewelry exchange area of the flea market. And police say while one distracted a clerk at Zareen Exclusive Fine Jewelry, the other reached into a cabinet, grabbed a tray of earrings, then the two fled in a car driven by a third suspect. Hansick and Kaufman were arrested on Friday. The third man, 62-year-old Anthony Ingenito, also of East Meadow, was arrested yesterday. The jewelry, which was recovered, was estimated worth in excess of $50,000. Well, winter, ice, and snow, along with jumps in temperatures from above to below freezing, usually means lots of potholes for Long Island roadways. And the problem seems to be happening again this year, as Jody Goldberg reports.
Potholes like this one usually don't begin appearing until late March or early April. However, this year, motorists say Mother Nature has thrown us a few early surprises.
And I'm looking, I said, oh my God, where am I supposed to go? I'm gonna ruin my tires. Something has to be done. There's craters all over the roads, and someone's gonna get into a very serious accident.
This resident isn't the only one affected by the growing number of potholes that seem to be all over Nassau County. Both the towns of Oyster Bay and North Hempstead say they already have their crews out getting a jump start on all the repair work that needs to be done. And Long Islanders say there's a lot of it.
But, I think especially now that the temperature might start to get warm, we'll see an increase in the potholes, and I'm sure it'll get a lot worse before it gets better. This snow's not going anywhere quick.
Some of the roads that I use to come to work are like driving through a minefield. And what I can't understand is they fix the potholes, or they try and repair the potholes with the material that a day or two later the material comes out of the potholes.
With this January setting the record as the snowiest month since 1947, the town of North Hempstead says it had to make snow removal a priority over potholes. However, the town's highway construction supervisor is still urging residents to report potholes in their area.
Well, if the residents see a pothole, they call up our 311 line. They report the location of the pothole, and we get a service request for it, and we go out and take care of the pothole.
In Port Washington, Jody Goldberg, LI News Tonight.
A Long Island man has been arrested in connection with a series of attempted burglaries in Hempstead. Nassau County Police say 25-year-old Marvin Caswell of Hempstead was observed yesterday afternoon checking out doors and windows to try to get into 4 separate houses on Ingraham Street and Willow Avenue. Caswell was arrested yesterday afternoon by Hempstead police. He's been charged with 4 counts of attempted burglary. A Long Island high school wrestling star is fighting a life-threatening infection. Newsday reports that Nick Mariello of Hauppauge has been stricken with the drug-resistant staph infection MRSA and a second bacterial infection that's an offshoot of MRSA. The paper says the 16-year-old athlete is hospitalized in critical condition. He was diagnosed last week after complaining of neck pains, breathing problems, and limited mobility after competing in 18 wrestling matches over 8 days. Experts say MRSA can be transmitted through contact sports. For the past 35 years, the month of February has been designated Black History Month. It was created to heighten awareness of the significant part that African Americans have played in the history of our country. Well, tonight on NYIT Roundtable, reporter Sean Hall and comedian actor Chuck Nice take a humorous look at some of the little-known facts and accomplishments in Black history.
Building of the White House. And
the White House was constructed by slaves. A lot of people don't know that the White House was not only constructed by slaves, but many of the residents, the earlier residents of the White House, actually owned slaves. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington had above 200 slaves himself. People forget that the founders of this nation, albeit esteemed as they are, were also very wealthy men.
yes.
You do not start a country when you are broke.
Nah,
You don't find too many people who are broke saying, you know, we should start a country.
Well, stay with us immediately following the news tonight on some of our stations for NYIT Roundtable. It was an up day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished up 71.5 points. NASDAQ was up just over 13 points, and the S&P was up 5.5 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
See a screening of the film Devil in a Blue Dress at New York Institute of Technology's D. Seversky Center in Old Westbury on Wednesday, February 9th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 516-686-7567. Long Beach seniors can learn safe driving tips at the AARP Mature Live Driving Course at Long Beach Public Library on February 9th and 16th at 6 p.m. For more information, call 516-432-7200. The Jerry Tobin Irish Language School is giving free Gaelic classes in Babylon starting Thursday, February 10th at 8 p.m. For more information, call 631-521-1227. Or learn the history of Long Island train stations at Northport Public Library on Thursday, February 10th at 7:30 p.m. For more information, call 631-261-6930. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight at nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
Some headlines from around the world today. An international journalism watchdog group has accused Egypt's military of obstructing the work of reporters covering the crisis in that country. Today, foreign reporters in Egypt without local credentials were not permitted by the military to enter the square where thousands of protesters have been calling for President Hosni Mubarak's ouster for the last 2 weeks. The New York-based Committee to Protect Journalists also accused the military of detaining journalists and confiscating their equipment. Since the end of last month, the committee says there have been at least 140 direct attacks on journalists trying to cover that ongoing unrest in Egypt. J. Paul Getty III, the troubled grandson of the multi-billionaire oil magnate, has died at the age of 54. J. Paul Getty III gained worldwide notoriety when he was kidnapped in Rome back in 1973. When the family reportedly stalled on paying a ransom, the kidnappers cut off part of his ear and sent it to a newspaper to prove that they had taken him captive. The oil heir, only 16 at the time, was eventually freed after 5 months in captivity and a payment of $2.7 million ransom. Getty later suffered a stroke while undergoing treatment for alcohol abuse in 1981, which left him in a wheelchair. He reportedly died Saturday in England. And Finnish scientists are hoping to rebrew what they say is one of the world's oldest preserved beers. The old ale was found in a 19th century shipwreck at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. Back in July, divers say they found 5 bottles of dark, foamy beer while salvaging champagne from the wreck near Finland. The shipwreck is believed to be from the early 19th century, and scientists say they want to determine the recipe used in the brewing and what kind of yeast was used, because the role of yeast in beer brewing was not yet fully understood back in the early 1800s. Thousands of children from Nassau County were left smiling recently at the 9th annual Give Kids a Smile. The event was hosted by Henry Schein Dental Supplies, the American Dental Association, and Nassau Dental Association. 1,700 children gathered at the Cradle of Aviation Museum in Garden City to receive free dental screenings and fluoride treatments. Sponsors of the event emphasized the consequences of inadequate dental care.
If you look at some of the statistics that are really quite ugly, 1 in 4 children between the ages of 2 and 5 has dental disease, and it's really almost reached epidemic levels.
You cannot drill and fill your way out of dental disease. You need to prevent the dental disease from starting, and that's the message here today.
Well, the goal of the event was not only to emphasize the importance of a healthy mouth, but to create a fun atmosphere for the children so they would enjoy going to the dentist. And they did it with puppet shows, music, and dancing.
What are you doing here today?
Well, I just came here to have fun and play.
So are you nervous, excited?
Excited. She checked my teeth, she gave me hand sanitizer, and then she gave me this.
Hundreds of dental professionals, Nassau County volunteers, and Dental Society representatives worked all day with the children to create a greater awareness of dental health. A Long Island recycling company says its efforts to recycle old holiday decoration lights resulted in 50,000 pounds of the used lights turned in. Gershow Recycling of Medford appealed to Long Islanders after the holidays to turn in any holiday lights that were broken, unwanted, or outdated, offering up to 40 cents a pound. And they say 50,000 pounds of the lights were turned in. Gershow says the lights include copper wire, which is a valuable industrial product and vital to the global economy. Gershow says it's now preparing the wiring that was turned in to ready it for export overseas, where it will be melted and used in new manufactured products. Well, we had a windy mix of sun and clouds today. The high was in the upper 30s. Tonight, partly cloudy and windy, with a low down around 16. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high in the low 30s. Thursday, mostly cloudy, with a high in the mid-20s. Friday should be a sunny day with a high in the low 30s. And the outlook for Saturday, another sunny day with a high in the mid-30s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.